Students are warned to keep away from on-the-run classmate, 32, who was wanted after 47-year-old woman was knifed to death in her home.
Students have been warned to keep away from their on-the-run classmate after a vulnerable mother who would not harm a fly was killed in her home. Michelle Hansen, 47, was found dead with injuries to her neck likely caused by a bladed article, in her flat on Brady Street, Sunderland on December 3. Detectives identified 32-year-old University of Sunderland student Alexander Carr as a key individual in their murder investigation, but he remains at large a week after her death. Police believe Carr knows that he is being searched for and is actively evading arrest. The mother of one lived alone but shopped in the same supermarket as Carr, who has links across Tyne and Wear as well as Northumberland. Yesterday, a university-wide email was sent to all students and staff members urging anyone with information about Carr's whereabouts to contact the police. The email, seen by Mail Online, read, "The university is aware of the current situation and is working closely to assist Northumbria police in their investigations." A message has been sent to Alexander Carr's classmates in order to offer any support they made during this time. "Our first concern is always for the well-being of our students and staff, so please contact Wellbeing Services to access support if you have any concerns." A university spokesperson said, "The university has been made aware of Northumbria Police's investigation and we will assist and support them in their inquiries." It comes after Crime Stoppers announced it was offering a £10,000 reward for anyone who could hand over information that would help lead to Carr's arrest. Northumbria Police have said if members of the public spot Carr in public, they should not approach him as he could be dangerous. Instead, officers should be alerted immediately if someone sees him. Mrs. Hansen's heartbroken family are being supported by specially trained officers. Tributes have flooded in our social media, with people paying their respects to the victim and her family. One wrote, "I still can't get my head around it. She was harmless, didn't deserve this. My heart is with Michelle and her family." Another added, "Absolutely heartbreaking. I can't get my head around why anyone would want to harm you. My thoughts are with Michelle's family at this sad time." Extensive searches are being carried out by officers across the northeast this week in a bid to locate Carr and bring him to custody. A statement on Northumberland Police's Facebook page posted on Friday read, "Ever since this incident, we have been determined to locate those responsible and we will look to bring effective justice against anybody found to have been involved." A significant number of inquiries have been carried out in the area since Saturday and we would like to thank the victim's family for their patience and cooperation, as well as the wider public who have supported our investigation. Extensive searches are being carried out across the northeast this week in a bid to locate Carr and bring him into custody. Officers had been called to the Brady Street home last Saturday around 12:30 p.m. after concerns were raised about a woman's welfare. When emergency workers arrived, they found Mrs. Hansen dead, having suffered injuries to her neck consistent, seemingly caused by a blade. On Wednesday, police changed an appeal for Carr's whereabouts to a murder investigation, after he was named a key individual in their inquiries. Police had carried out a forensic investigation into her death, with door-to-door inquiries in the area. Behind the crime scene tent, the battered door to her home was seen hanging by its hinges. A friend of the family described Mrs. Hansen as a vulnerable woman who would have been defenseless against any attacker. Neighbors said they did not recognize Carr and did not believe that Mrs. Hansen had a partner. She had been a regular customer at the Super Saver store on the high street around the corner from where she lived. a shop where Carr was also a regular visitor. One person who worked in the shop said, "I recognized Mrs. Hansen because she was a regular customer. She was always in here. I also saw Alexander Carr in here quite a lot of an evening. But I did not know either of them personally. I think Mrs. Hansen had her troubles, but no one deserves what happened to her." Another resident said, "The only time I saw her go out was to go shopping and she often went there. She loved the bargain." Neighbors in the street, including many pensioners, were shocked by what had happened but said the area did have its issues. One woman said, "It can be a bit rough around here. But the worst you expect is someone breaking someone else's windows." Michelle cut a bit of a lonely figure. But she was a canny enough lass. She would not harm a fly. It is just crazy what happened to her. A friend of the family said she last saw Mrs. Hansen a month ago when she appeared extremely vulnerable. She said, "I was shocked to see her like that. She was in a bit of a mess, to be honest, and drinking heavily. She appeared bright enough, but you could tell that deep down she was deeply unhappy." Armed police with tracker dogs raided an empty home near to the murder scene in search for clues of the suspect's whereabouts. Mrs. Hansen lived in the upper part of the white-fronted converted terraced house and her son Stephen used to live in the flat below. But Stephen Hansen is currently serving a life sentence imposed in 2014 for attempting to murder his cellmate in Durham Gale by stabbing him, pouring boiling water on him and trying to hang him. At the time, he was on remand for slashing his mother across the face with a knife in May 2013. In February 2017, Mrs. Hansen was given a suspended jail sentence for arson after setting fire to her previous home in an attempt to kill herself. Fleur Brown, Northeast Regional Manager for the charity Crime Stoppers, said, "It is crucial that Alexander Carr is located as soon as possible as he is a key person that police need to speak to in connection with this murder. If you know where Alexander Carr is, or where he may be staying, I urge you not to approach him but to speak to us, and you may be eligible for a £10,000 reward. When you contact Crime Stoppers, we never ask your name. We don't want to know who you are, just what you know. Pass on information completely anonymously by calling our UK contact centre, which is open 24/7 on free phone number 0800 555 111, or you can use our simple and secure anonymous online form at www.crimestoppersuk.org. Superintendent Lynn Pert, of Northumbria Police, said, "I'd like to thank everyone who has already shared our appeal and assisted us with information about Carr's whereabouts. We are determined to locate and apprehend him as soon as possible and continue to ask for the public's support with this. Members of the public are asked not to approach Carr. Instead, alert police if you have seen him. I would like to thank the victim's family for the incredible strength and cooperation that they have shown throughout this investigation, and specially trained officers will continue to offer them any support they need. Anyone who sees Carr or has information about his whereabouts is asked to call 999 quoting login P20221203 0434.